love it. Be willing to, once I'm done filming them, I'd be willing to do an interview with you if you want to do it.
Maybe.
No problem. And I'm uploading an interview with one of your guys, Jason. Unedited. I never edit my videos. First, because I don't want people to accuse me of editing it. Secondly, I'm kind of lazy.
Alright.
Peter, by the way.
Tony.
Pleasure.
Well, regulations go both ways.
But they don't serve protecting the health and safety of the public.
So the regulations that you're talking about for a small business that would make it, I guess, difficult to get in.
You're the one that said it's difficult to start a small business because of government regulation.
No, I didn't
yes,
say.
You did.
I didn't say specifically because of government regulation. I said because that there are a lot of bigger players involved. I was talking about the energy.
How do they
Actually, may I interject something if you don't mind? Because I go door to door to sell the ads on my site, and one of the things I deal with a lot of really small businesses. One of the things that corporations do and take advantage of these regulations are because they have such a large infrastructure. They can handle a regulation, like if you make an odd regulation, a huge company can handle it, but the small guy, let's say a pallet maker, which was one of my advertisers, for him it's a prohibitive expense, and so he can't compete, and that's how they get squeezed out. So regulations are used by, in that sense, we agree in that corporations will use the regulations to squeeze the small guy.
Well, I guess what you're talking about there would be something like a healthcare regulation.
Well, either that or a particular safety regulation. Yeah, I live in Massachusetts, so I know what you mean.
For a prime example, let's look at Colorado. We had an emerging industry in Colorado, the medical marijuana industry. And what happened? Within a year of that industry emerging, they got regulation. Was it to the benefit of the industry? No, it was benefit to the early players that got engaged. They now have the best bargaining position, and they can now set the rules for everybody else coming in. So what happens now? What, you need $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 to start a medical marijuana business. That's the nature of regulation. Go look at that industry as a brand new industry with no regulations and no rules. Watch and see how you ended up with a highly regulated industry and how there is no opportunity for new players to get into that industry anymore. It's now monopolized. And it was nothing more than regulation.
Dispensaries in Denver than there are Starbucks.
By the way, if you don't mind my interrupting,
growing.
could I have your first name? Because I know Lisa's name, so that way, Kat. So pleasure to meet you. I'm Peter.
But Kat, think about it. I mean, really think about it. And I really think you guys are missing an opportunity to have very talented people. And what we look at is we're sitting here going, talented people, kids with college education, and they're sitting on a sidewalk saying, give me stuff, when you've already got the stuff you need.
No, that's a misconception. We're not asking for things. We're not asking.
You want a free education, you want free health care, you want free everything.
Well, single-payer health care would go a long way to help
why don't you create, instead of asking for, why don't you create and move forward?
Well, we're trying to open up that dialogue with our government that we feel is
why does the government have to do the creation?
I think you seem like a creative guy. I bet you could create and make a difference just through your own enterprise. I think you're very capable.
If I could please get more than just a sentence in.
Oh, go ahead. Fire away.
The way that our current government and construction of this country works is that all of the regulation and all of the way that we negotiate between us, the people, and really corporations, police, military, all other entities, I mean, that really does happen through our government, through our elected representatives. What this movement, as I personally see it, is saying that we don't feel as if our voice is actually being heard with these elected representatives who are taking some pretty big liberties with our livelihoods and with how we are able to conduct our lives. I think on this point, a lot of the folks in this building behind me would agree with that the government is making it difficult for us to function properly. We just feel, or I personally feel, that part of that comes from the influence that large corporations have on our government. Not only that, but a lot of money plays into our government. It took 10,000 people surrounding the White House to convince Obama that he should delay the Keystone XL pipeline, not just outright cancel it. But if it takes 10,000 people to circle around your house when you could just have one dude go by with a big briefcase full of money.
Okay, I'm going to make that the last word so I can interview you if you don't mind, Tony.
Yeah, so